Hi, everybody. Welcome to the dungeon. My name is Robin, and today is Flameworking 102.12. Today, I wanted to share the blooming or the implosion mushroom pendant with you all. And I have seen this demonstration done a million times. Maybe you have too, but I thought it really needed to have a place here in all of the demonstrations. And if you are new to flameworking and you haven't seen this demonstration done before, or if you're just looking for a refresher, this is glass magic in its most simplest form. It's such a beautiful thing to watch this mushroom bloom inside the glass. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. As always, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're all doing safe and well out there, and I'll see you next time in the dungeon. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do here is make myself a loop, and it's just a lot easier for me to make it on a larger mandrel. I am not very good at making the hooks right off of the end of the piece. So just to let myself concentrate on working on the piece and knowing that I have this set aside, I don't have to stress out about it in the end. But make your hook any way you want. I have just put a little bit of clear glass on a 1/4 inch little tiny stainless steel, like a hollow mandrel, and then I'm going to put that in the oven and let it sit there until I am ready to use it. And next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start everything out by making this little tiny mushroom embed. And I'm going to start out by heating up a little bit of my ivory, and then I'm going to just pull it out very, very gently, just kind of tugging it out with the end of a warm glass punty. And parts of this video that I thought were important, like right here, are done in real time so you can kind of see how long it takes me. I'm just really being gentle about how I pull. I don't need a lot, just a little bit. I'm looking for something that looks like a matchstick. That's about the size that I'm looking for. So I want to make sure that I don't have any clear on the end, so I take that little bit off. And now when I have my little stick ready, I'm going to go ahead and add a little tiny bit of color to the tip of it. And if you feel like you have too much color, like I kind of feel like that right now, so I'm going to take a little bit of this off. So if you feel like you have too much, then just heat just the tip up and grab it really gently with the end of a bit of glass and just pull away just a little bit of glass. And now I kind of feel like this is going to be good for me. This is what's going to work. And yep, it looks just like a matchstick. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside and concentrate on building up the pendant. Okay, and so I do hold that in the back. I don't know. I just worry about it cooling too much, so I just kind of wave it around in the back of the flame. I don't want to get it hot though. I just want it to just not break. So while I'm hanging out, I'm just going to heat up my clear glass until I have a really, really big ball. I want this to be the size of the bottom of the pendant, and I do hold it down a little bit here at the end because when you push the mushroom up into it, it will shorten quite a bit. So let that stiffen up, and now here's my trick. Just heat the very, very bottom. Nothing else. You want to make sure that when you push the mushroom up into it, it's pushing into the cooler glass, and that's what's going to make the top of the mushroom bloom. So I'm very gently pushing it in here and turning, gently at the same time, and just I'm continuing to push here very slowly. Now at this point, I'm just holding everything together and letting the glass stiffen up a little bit. And when I feel like that the color rod is stiff at the bottom, that's when I'll start to heat everything up. And I'm only going to heat the side here, just the side of the pendant. Now that will warm up the ivory and then I'm just going to pull that ivory away, and you'll notice that I have a little tail hanging out, and that is really important. I'm going to take a little tiny bit of it off so it's not too big. You don't have to do that, but I just want to take that off. But watch how I heat this here. It's all on the side. When I pushed the glass up into the clear, it left a little bit of like a clear pocket around the mushroom stem, and heating this at this angle will kind of give the clear glass, it'll allow the clear glass to collapse and push that clear glass all the way out. And then what you're left over is your little bit of ivory will still be on the bottom. You don't want any clear glass over that little ivory dot. And when everything is kind of rounded out, let it just, hang out with it for a second. And then I'm going to just hang it down to give it a little bit of length. You don't have to do this part. You can leave it a little shorter if you'd like, but that is our little tiny mushroom implosion. It was really cool. So it might take you a couple times to do it, but once you get the heat right, you'll get it for sure. Okay, so now I'm ready to punty up. And I'm just going to get a little glass, little heat at the end of a punty rod, roll it into a little pencil point, and stick it to the bottom. And I just wanted to give it a little bit more heat because I felt like it was a little cold. And now what I'm going to do is, while that punty is stabilizing, I'm going to start heating up into the top part of the pendant. You want to make sure you get about a ½ inch out from the mushroom cap, and you'll have a nice tapered base. Now at this point, if you want to, you can put the hook on and have a really awesome little mushroom pendant. But I wanted to take it one step further and add a really large amount of glass to the top, because that bottom, the pendant looks like a mushroom stem anyway, so we might as well cap it off with a mushroom cap and go from there. So while I'm heating up this big ball of color, I'm also keeping that glass warm in the back of the flame so it doesn't break. And right before I add these together, I will heat up the tip of the clear, so when they touch, there's like an immediate melt that happens, so I'm not going to worry about the cap popping off later on. And now I'm just going to get a little bit more of that color hot and cast it off, and it already kind of resembles a mushroom cap, so we're just going to really gently shape this up and get the loop on it and put it away. But before we do that, I want to just shape the cap a little bit. So I'll hold it at this angle and just really gently roll it at an angle on the graphite pad. Of course, from the making this little mushroom on out is, it's all up to you. Have fun with this, have fun with the colors. This was a lot of fun to make, and even for me, it did take a couple times to figure it out, and especially the heat, and making sure that while you're working on this top mushroom cap part, you keep the rest of it slightly warm. Okay, now here's my really horrible shaky wrap that I'm going to put on. So I figure it's organic. I was really shaky this day, you guys. You'll have to forgive me. So I get that sloppy kind of wrap around the rim there, because I just wanted it a little bit bigger. And from there, I'm just going to go ahead and shape it up again. You just want to keep in the back of your mind to flash the bottom part every now and then. Like after every step, I kind of flash the base of this mushroom. All right, I'm going to put some little tiny micro dots of ivory all over the top. There's no rhyme or reason here. I'm just going to put them wherever I feel like it. All right, now all we have to do is melt these in. I'm not going to do any more shaping. I really like the way the piece looks right now. And so at this point, I'm going to finish heating and grab the loop. And I am going to grab it right out of the annealer. And I just do it all one-handed. And make sure you have a good amount of the handle hanging out of the annealer. You don't want to choke up on it and it be too hot. So I'm going to give the mushroom one last flash and heat up a spot on the little loop bead and go ahead and put them together. Check to see how they fit. And then I'll just go ahead and heat the bottom off. I don't want to break it off because I know as soon as I try to break this off, it's going to release itself from the mandrel and then I'll be angry. So I don't want to be angry. I'm just going to heat it, cast it off, give it a little fire polish and a bit more heat just to make sure everything is nice and stable on the loop part, and I'll put that away. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this. It was so much fun to make these. Yeah, it was cool. I hope you make these. Anyway, I'll see you next time in the dungeon.